Welcome to the Downtown Part 2. I am Roadie John, and you already know what you're getting into. This is Part 2 of our wonderful conversation with Daniel and Katherine from September Moon. Here is everything you've been waiting for. But first, without further ado, you get to hear Freeway from September Moon.
Job I've been working far too long, it seems. Everything around me always gets stuck on repeat. Gotta find a way off of this dead end street. Freeway flies beneath me, and Lord knows I'm leaving today. I'm sick and tired of the daily grind. Today's the day I leave it all behind. So I just drive. Wish I could be there to see that dumb look on your face when you realize my stuff's all moved out of your place. I'm done waiting around for you to start treating me right. Made up my mind, and baby, I'm leaving tonight. Freeway flies beneath me, and Lord knows I ain't gonna stay. I've had enough of your so-called love, so I spread my wings and I'm ready to fly. And I just drive, yeah, I feel so alive. You can't win what you don't earn. And you can't know what you don't learn. So I follow the roads of the orange lights till I see my name upon that marquee sign. I'm ready now, stepping up to the plate. It's my turn to swing Freeway flies beneath me, and Lord knows I'm leaving today. I'm sick and tired of the same old life. Let the engine rev and I'm ready to fly. So I just drive, yeah, I feel so alive.
When it comes to building a set list, it's not the same as an album, obviously, because you're taking somebody on the ride in a different way, in a more visual. You're experiencing it. You're all
Right.
experiencing everything together. Somebody drops an entire tray of glasses behind you. You guys are all, whatever. What goes into set lists building, and also what are the cover songs that you guys will fill in?
Yeah.
Because
Great
there's
question.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of times when people are coming up, you're not going to have all the you're not going to have a whole set.
You're not starting out with ticketed shows either.
That also,
You
yes.
have to really, there's a whole career progression you go through. But I'll let Daniel take the set list question because he's the set list guy and he carries that torch, I hope, proudly.
Yeah.
But-
Well, because even Zach Brown now, like I saw him, he was doing covers. I was like, okay, that's awesome that you have somebody at that level still doing covers, because then people are like, hell yeah, I know that song, and I'm at a Zach Brown show. This is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess so there's a few different kinds of sets that that you build, but let's
start at the winery and then let's go to a Levitt.
Okay.
Like, what would be that dynamic for them?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So the winery, it's going to be like your standard. You're doing 3 sets of 45 with a 15 to 20 minute break. And so with us, what we will do, every set we start and close with a banger, and because you got to, just kick them in the face with the energy up front, get their attention.
Well,
and then
plus
at
a lot
the
of people's
end,
memories only remember the beginning and the end.
end.
A lot of the middle stuff they'll kind of not really
Exactly.
forget, but it's
Yeah.
not as fresh on the mind.
right. So, I mean, that's, you set the tone right up front,
Right.
banger. You close with a banger because, you want them to want more. And, in a winery or a like old cocktail lounge, or whatever, playing 3 hours. It's like, well, you want them to stick around for the next set,
Right.
So, and then in the middle, with us, we do about 50-50 on those kind of shows, cover original. Not always.
Right.
When we started, we had 3 hours was daunting, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow,
Right.
it's like, so we were probably doing more like 75 cover to 25 original. But as our library grew, we started doing about 50-50, and all of our covers were real strategic, that we'd tried out at places that we knew hit,
people
like,
like.
and we'd try the cover out. If that cover didn't seem to hit,
Cut it.
cut it,
Yeah.
because
something
to us, covers are always, casting a line, hooking them, reeling them back in to hear your original music.
Yeah,
And
that's that's a great way to put it as an artist. Like when you do covers, because that is a big part of this business. Is
Oh, of
you have to
course.
be, like you said, Zach Brown was still doing covers.
Yeah.
But you have to choose them wisely, and you want that to literally be your line. That's like, okay, what can I play to you that will get you to care about the original song I'm going to play right after this?
Yeah.
Because at a place like that, a winery or a bar in town or something like that, those people aren't there because you're there playing. You're there, even though the venue may, have live music, and there's going to be live music there. A lot of people are just at, said bar or at Corkhouse Winery because they love the wine. They know there's going to be live music, but they don't necessarily know who's going to be there that night or whatever. So, like you just want to keep it upbeat. You want to keep it light and fun. Because people are having fun at a bar or a winery. They stay, they keep buying drinks. The bar's happier, that you get hired again because they had a great night, and et cetera. Now, if you go to more like kind of the Levitt, I was excited about our Levitt show last year because last year was our first time at the Levitt doing a completely original set.
Wow.
We decided-
Daniel fought for that. I will say, like, he fought for that. And I was like, well, you don't think like just doing one cover within the set? And he was like, no, we've always done that. Like, let's try it. Let's just do nothing but our original music. And we did for the
no
first time.
crutches, because covers can be crutches.
They can,
because it's like, well, we know they love that Journey song, or
Who doesn't love
Yeah.
Stop Believing? Yeah.
whatever song that just slays.
Right. Banana
when you
Pancakes
do
by
it,
Jack
but you don't
Johnson.
wanna-
Everybody loves that
Yeah.
song. Yeah.
But you don't want to end up being the band that people, as an original artist, of
course.
there's tons of ways to band, and I'm not here, trying to rain on any way people like to do things. But for us, wanting to be an original act, we're in a phase now to where this year we're trying to start phasing out those 3-hour shows, and next year start moving just to original ticketed shows, and where we only use a couple covers. So last year at the Levitt, that was a big step for us. We knew like we're going to do it in our hometown, and we're going to have our home
We had
base
just
here to
released
try it
our
out with.
album
We just
at that
released the
time.
album.
Yeah.
We had plenty of stuff, and we still built it with banger up the top. What did we do? We did our song Freeway.
Oh, that's a good
slaps. Boom.
Thank you.
And I forget what we
Texas
closed
Rock and
with.
Roll,
Oh
I
yeah, we
think.
got into a song called Texas Rock and Roll. We closed with both bangers, both Catherine Power songs, and then I think after we worked in uh, some stuff that we are going to be recording towards this next
Yes,
album
yeah.
and some old stuff, but you keep the energy going up and down and up and down. With us, we move the singers around, and I don't know, like with the Levitt, that was a 45-minute set. Some sets are longer to where you'll do like maybe acoustic songs, a few in the middle, not, and then come back. But anyway, that's kind of the art of the set. Start with the banger, end with the banger, and just keep that energy up and down, and don't stay too high energy the whole way.
No.
I've been at like high energy crazy punk shows where I just wanted a slow song.
Right. You need a breath.
Like,
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I was so happy. This was probably 2 years ago, but like Daniel has always fought for like trying to keep like the songs upbeat in our set list, right? Like because he really has a hard time at shows where all the songs are slow. After a while, they all start to blend together, and I do understand that. You want to really appeal to your audience and not have them kind of mentally check out and be like, wait, is this still the song from before? You don't, that's bad. But we went to a punk show in Dallas, and like it was just balls to the wall.
It was
for the
cowboy punk, baby.
entire set.
It was.
And it was fun. It was wild, but like
killer
about
band out of Dallas called
about
Ottoman Turks. man. I
halfway
love 'em.
through, we were just like,
Oh, I've heard of them.
they're
but I haven't
awesome.
Heard
They're
them.
they're
Okay.
a great show.
They're sick, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really fun. But yeah, anyway, and so it was, but he was like, I do appreciate now maybe putting in a slow song here or there. I was like,
Yeah.
like we don't have to be like, we're not punk, like we're not cow
Right.
punk,
Yeah.
like we're just country Americana. Like it's okay for our audience.
Exactly.
It's okay to have some slow stuff mixed in.
More than okay. Our audience,
Our audience
wants it
loves
more.
slow stuff.
I'm always still trying to.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you want them to
They're always
two-step,
trying to
but
reel
then
me
you
in.
also want them
Yeah.
to slow dance. So it's
Yes.
like it's a fine balance,
It's a
really.
balance.
Right, because also they want to be up and dancing and having a good time, but like you said, sometimes they're going to need like, oh man, where's that slow song at?
Sure.
Like I need to
Right. Yeah,
sit
'cause
down or
there
whatever.
are some people that that don't really dance, but when it's a slow song, they're like, I don't really know how to dance, but like I could take my girl out on the dance floor and I can do it. If it's a slow song, I could do it. And they might just be waiting for that one slow song. And then if you don't play it, they're just like, oh.
And then in our
Dang it.
genre, it's like, well, what are you even in country and Americana? It's like, so you have the honky tonk bands
Mhm.
that, and then you have more like the venue bands. So like Catherine, and if you guys watching or listening
trying
want to check out, so there we know like great bands that do it both different ways. So we're friends with a band called Kinfo, and they're just killing it out there right now. And they're one of the best like honky tonk dancehall bands out there, man. They keep it moving. Everyone's there to dance and stuff. But then you got like bands like Wilder Blue. They're more like kind of theater shows. So it's like
Right.
I'm interested to see how this album comes out to really kind of rein in where we're going.
Yeah, we'll see. Verdict's still out for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
I would love to answer that question
Yeah.
eventually. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's this whole thing is-
almost 5 years into this thing, and we're still really about ready to put our thumb on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I'd say about having a band is just don't quit, and you'll end up stumbling onto some kind of success if you just
Exactly.
keep reinvesting and investing into your product and just keep shaking hands and
the patience thing is key and
Consistency.
consistency,
Yes.
right? And so like I know that I've learned. I mean, I didn't know anything about this business at all,
Yeah.
even 5 years ago. I wish Daniel and I are always like, I wish we knew then what we know now. Can you
everybody,
imagine
yeah.
if we even knew half of what we know now then getting started? But it's all right. It is what it is. But you really have to go through a progression. And we started at like dive bars as an acoustic duo, playing for $40. Like, I mean,
thrilled to do it.
thrilled to do
Yeah.
it.
Of course,
because
Yeah.
because you're getting
just
paid for
started-
doing
Yeah.
something you love.
I was
Yeah.
excited to get paid. I'm like, but
Yes.
I'm getting paid.
Right.
Because we had just started. And honestly, like you can look at that. I know a lot of artists would like take that and be like, are you kidding? Like that's awful. But I'm like, no, when you're just starting out, to me, it's like you have to earn your way there.
Mhm.
And you're really developing, it's a product at the end of the day. And it's like, well, my honestly, like my product's new and it's not very good yet. Like, I mean, I think it can get there.
Right.
And I don't mean it to say that like we weren't good singers or whatever, but you know, it's new and we have a lot of work to do. And so then you start out at the dive bars and then you progress to your 3 hour
or just whatever open mic you can get.
or open mics.
Exactly.
Yeah, open
Yeah.
mics were, you're right. Open mic is really where
Yeah.
it's at when
Yeah.
you're starting. And those were like our unofficial auditions.
I still love going to open mics, man.
If
I wish there was more, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
there used to be so
there used to be,
many.
I know, I mean, we were talking about Truth Vinyl, their open mic every Thursday I was there. Like there was,
Yeah.
I'm not missing that
Yeah.
because it's amazing.
It was so good.
And I know Cocktail Lounge, they used to do it too. I mean, I don't know if they
I
still
didn't
do it or
even know
not.
they
Yeah, they
used
did.
to
It was
do
like more of like, I think they may have done it on Thursday, but it was like started at 10 o'clock or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Open
Yeah.
mics are really where you, I think when you, if you're like, if anyone's listening that like wants to like get into this, really, I think
Yeah.
open mics are the way to go, to just get comfortable in front of people,
Yep.
get comfortable performing, networking.
That
Networking
also.
it's no different in music than any other business. You have to network. And if you're not really willing or like, listen, I have social anxiety too, but like you just fake it. And
Yes.
and then I'll be exhausted after like social events where I have to shake hands and I've learned how to like fake it, but then I go home and I am
in a coma
pretty-
for however long.
so but if you're not willing to do that, then it might not be the career for you because
True.
it's part of that. And so but you can get better at it. Like even if you're not good at it, you can improve. But yeah, open mics are so crucial. And we actually started doing, once we really got going with open micing, then I was like, okay, let me just start being more strategic with our open mics. And so we would still hit up our favorite local open mics, but then we were like, okay, what open mics are at venues that we would
That
like
we
to
wanna play.
in?
Right.
So then we would use that, but we waited till we felt like we were good enough to impress people.
For sure.
You know, and so then we'd go and that would kind of end up being our unofficial like audition. So you'd go, you'd play at their open mic, and usually one of two things would happen. We'd either get booked at that place, at that bar or a restaurant, or the person running that open mic would be like, hey, I book for such and such place
Yes.
over here. Would you guys like a Friday night? And then, so then you just keep doing that. And then you don't have to necessarily open mic anymore unless you just want to do it for fun.
Right. Yeah.
Then you start moving that, you know, more in that direction and then do that for years. Do that whole like bar scene for
Yeah.
years. And then you can finally start playing a few ticketed shows. And
Yes.
now, like Daniel said, we're phasing out from we're in that new transition period where we're really trying to phase out of those 3 hour bar gigs and
Yeah.
be solely like, you know, a ticketed band or at least like for, if it's not ticketed, like playing events
Yeah.
and different things,
Right.
like festivals and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But we still have some bar gigs like lined up and that's fine.
Sure
What's wrong
do.
with it?
You
Yeah.
know, that it's great and I enjoy them. Like
Right.
I honestly
Oh,
still
yeah.
enjoy
We're-
honky tonk.
We're good at them, man. We've been doing it for almost 5 years
Yeah.
now. We got it down and we have a hell of a time. So
Yeah, we do. We have too much fun.
Well,
That's
I
all
always say, so it's February right now and people are still doing the resolutions, and most people's
Mhm.
resolutions are always health and
Mhm.
exercise or whatever. You're not going to look like The Rock after your first day. And
Right.
if you are a musician, you're not going to be Lady Gaga Banana Pants after your first show. You have to do every open mic, every smoky bar that you
Mhm.
get paid maybe $20 or free drinks that night.
right.
They're reps. Those reps are going to help out later for when you play 11 or when you
Yes.
play any big festival where maybe you're on the third stage. Next year,
Mhm.
you might be on the second stage. The year after
Yeah.
that, you might be on the first stage. Like that's just a thing that happens that a lot of people, I mean, especially now because everything's on our phones at all times, that you're like,
Mhm.
why am I not having 1 million followers and
Right away.
all these people listening or, you know, selling out AT&T Stadium or whatever. But again, you have to get those reps in to be better because
Mhm.
whatever happened on Caves on this random Thursday night, you're going to know how to be like, okay, well, my string broke here.
Yeah.
And I know how to
Yes.
play the song still 5 years later because that one night my
How to
string
handle
broke.
that?
Exactly.
How do you handle that situation
Exactly.
live? And no, it's I love that you're mentioning like that you have to really be willing to do that. And I think a lot of times when people don't get like that instant gratification, they quit. But
Yes.
what's good is that if you're persistent and if you don't quit, there are so many people, and even more now than ever, are quitting so quickly.
Yes.
That like the few that hang on and just keep going and keep chipping away at it a little bit
Have
at
the
a
grit,
time.
man.
Yeah.
It is truly just, I mean, it's what is it's, I mean, grit and I mean perseverance, and it really is that. And if you
And
can,
networking.
and grind, if
Yeah,
you can,
yeah,
if
put
you're
the
willing
grind
to
in.
Like
do
if
it.
you have a good product, you know, you got to grind it.
Exactly.
You know, just because you have a good product, the world's not just going to fall at your feet, man. I know so many good acts. And acts that didn't make it.
Yep.
And all this stuff. And if everything truly was just purely talent based, it'd be a whole
They'd be
different
huge.
world.
Oh,
Yeah,
without a
yeah.
doubt. Yeah.
Like-
Oh, it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
But dude,
Yeah.
it's so much networking and just work. You got to work at your art,
Sure.
and we just keep working, and
Good.
so
Yeah.
like, that's
We're also
that's-
very like, that's kind of one thing that I think we bonded over, is that Daniel and I both are like people that have to be doing something like
Same. Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
and multiple like irons in the fire kind of people.
That's why I have
And
two podcasts. I get.
yeah, exactly. You get it. And if we don't have multiple things going at once, like we go like a little stir crazy. Like I
Right.
tend to get depressed if I don't have things
can see that, yeah.
to do, and I just have to like, I don't know, have all these ventures going. And
Task-driven people.
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
But you're also creative, so it's not only it's a good task for y'all, but y'all are helping other people as well. I imagine you guys, your fan base is so strong that like you're having these stories come back, like this song changed my life, or this song really got me through a time that I didn't imagine I could get through. But
I sure
listening
love
to you.
hearing those stories whenever you know somebody tells you that your song helped them,
right,
Yeah.
or you know, just your song reminds them of a time, of a
Yeah.
good time, and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Even like
You
at,
know, man?
sometimes it's even like at a show where like someone is like just actually really tuned in and listening to the lyrics, and you know, I get kind of jaded sometimes. I'm like, nobody's really listening to the lyrics, but it's fine. I'm still I always give it 100%.
of course.
But there are people that are really listening,
Yeah.
and they'll come up to you after the show sometimes and be like, that song, and they know the title, they can quote you lyrics immediately. You're like,
Wow.
you just heard it one time, and that was like
Yeah.
30 minutes ago,
Yeah.
in the middle of the set, like, and you know,
Talking
they,
like just a gig type
just a
thing.
gig,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, and they're like, I love that song so much. Like, where can I find it? Like, I want to like show that song to my friend, and you're like, oh, okay,
Right.
cool, and or when people request originals, that's always
Do
just like,
that when you guys go see a show. When you go see a band, request one of their original songs.
even if you don't
Do
know.
not suck their soul out of them and say, "Hey, do you know X Garth Brooks song
Yeah.
or something?"
Play
Like,
Freebird or
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, friends in low
it,
places.
it doesn't take much.
Yeah,
man.
everybody does. We're
You
in the
got your
South.
phone, look up
It's
that
actually a really
band,
hard song to
check
play on
out what
guitar.
songs that they have. Be like, "Hey, can you play?" Even if you don't know it, be like, "Hey, can you play?"
You don't even have to
Yeah.
necessarily, or even if you
Amazing.
don't look up their music, honestly, if you want to make an artist's night, not only make their night, watch them light up, and honestly, probably elevate their entire performance for that night, you can literally go up and just say, hey, even if you don't know them, do you have any original stuff? And that's all you have to ask. And most of the time, they're going to say, yeah. And you go, I'd like for you to play one. Can you play an original song? It's all, you don't have to even necessarily look up, because not everybody has stuff on Spotify. Just
True.
tell them, play an original
Yeah,
song.
we were there checking out a friend who was he was playing White Elephant, and he plays a lot of the honky tonks and does the 3 and 4 hour cover gigs and stuff like that. And we know he's got some great original stuff. And he was at White Elephant. And we went up and we're like, "Yo, man, you got to play one of your originals." And so he did. He introduced it that, you know, as an original song, and did it. The whole honky tonk went nuts. You know, it was
Yeah.
so
That's
cool, and he just
awesome.
lit up. You know, and
And then you feed, as a performer, you feed off that energy.
Yes.
And all of a sudden the rest of your entire gig is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, people can tell when you're really connecting to the music, as opposed to just like, okay, I'm just playing another cover
Yeah.
to get paid, and you know, I don't really care. But like when
Right.
it's,
You're thinking about what's happening after the show, where you're like,
yeah, like, okay, so I have to load out, and then like, okay, I need to get to bed, and tomorrow, what do I have going? Oh yeah, I have to be at this place. What time do I need to get there?
Yeah.
You know, those are all the things you're going through when you're sitting there performing as it's happening, and that's never good.
no,
Like, I
because you're
mean,
not in it.
right.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Right. Oh, I
I'm not saying
imagine.
I
Yeah.
haven't been there, but like, I have to try to really reel myself back in and be like, hey, like quiet,
Yeah.
quiet you, and like just stay in the moment, because the audience, whether I think it's subconscious, but they can tell. And yeah, I love doing that. Going like even if it's at like a coffee shop or like a restaurant, and just going to be like, hey, do you have any original stuff? And they're always like, yeah, like can you play something?
Yeah.
Okay, and they always light up. It's awesome.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, as y'all are getting bigger and better as a band, and people just that are successful in general, your goalpost will move.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So when it comes to your goalpost, what was the original one that y'all were like, damn, I can't believe we're doing this? And then now, I guess, what is the future one? Because y'all just signed, which I imagine was a goalpost.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then actually making another album is probably another goalpost. So, like, what was the first one y'all hit? And then
Tell
what
me
is
West Main one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
knew
West Main?
immediately.
Yeah.
I knew, like, it's so funny. We're on the same wavelength. Go figure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's so funny you say that because like earlier you
I was just
mentioned,
telling Mark Jokel this the other week.
yeah,
I love him so much. He's
amazing.
an unsung hero in this city. That,
I'll sing about him all day.
same here. Yeah. I love that
Yeah.
guy.
He's awesome. So
He gave us our first interview ever.
he really did.
Oh.
Yeah, we need to find that interview. Anyway, our very first goal post
Mhm.
was to headline the Arlington
The West Main.
West Main Street
Yeah.
Arts Festival.
Was it Main
Yeah.
Street then, or was it West Main?
It was.
West Main. Or
West
it's East
Main's-
Main.
It was East Main at the
East
time.
Main.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
It was
sorry.
over by Mavericks.
I'm like West Main. No, sorry, it's been.
Well, they changed
many
names, so I mean,
years.
yeah.
So okay, yeah, the East Main Street Arts Festival.
Yeah.
And we were just excited to be a part of it when
Oh,
we
of
first
course.
started as a duo.
Right.
Because we were doing all the open mics in Arlington, and so we got on we were under a tent,
a little 10x10 pop up tent with a couple speakers. And
yeah, and I remember
tickled pink to do it.
we were down the street, and we could literally look straight down and see the main stage, and it was sponsored by Spider Pop at the time.
Right.
And I looked at Daniel and I was like, one day we're gonna be on that stage. I wasn't like gonna headline, but one day we're gonna be on that. And
That was
my
the
goal.
dream at the time.
That's
Yeah.
my goal, is to be on the
Even
main
if you're the first
stage.
band, you're at least on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like one day we're gonna be on the main stage at the East Main Street Arts Festival in
Right.
Arlington.
She declared
That's my
it.
goal. I declared it.
Put
I
it out in the
manifested
universe.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
part of the
so-
secret, I think.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so then the next
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 year,
year
we had
we
the
were-
band. We were still under a 10x10 tent.
but a little closer.
Right.
They put us by the food truck.
Okay.
So now it's
You
like
know people are coming by to
moving
see
on
you,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the next year after that, we were, I think. That,
No, then the following
my
the,
bad.
then the subsequent year we were over on the other side. We graduated to a real stage,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we Adam Marie played, then we played, and then I
Mhm.
believe High
That's
Point
right.
played.
That's
Okay.
right. We were
Yeah.
on a stage.
There you go.
So it was not a tent.
Yeah.
And then finally,
And then the
fourth
next year we were on an
So-
early slot on the main stage, baby.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You started this at one stage,
Mhm.
go to the other stage, and then finally the main stage. Like,
yeah,
oh,
4 years later,
Right.
and that's the East Main Street Arts Festival in Arlington. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's, but there are so many. That's your first goalpost, and then you're
Right.
like, okay, cool. Now what?
Yeah.
You know, and so then you just kind of keep.
It's like then our goal was like, well, we want to play that stage where we met, in the stockyards, and got that. Then, then we wanted to release the EP. You keep checking them off and keep working. You keep checking, and every check feels great.
Yeah.
Of course.
And you want to sell. What I've learned is you want to celebrate those checks and not keep looking at all the empty boxes you've created further down the list.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the ones that
So-
aren't checked.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
You're like, well, this one's nice, but I
Right.
really want blah, 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 blah.
And
Yeah.
it's really easy to. Well, for me, it's easy to do that, and Daniel's good at grounding me and be like, hey, will you at
Just go
least
celebrate.
Yeah, we at
Yes,
least spend
yes.
today celebrating what we just accomplished. And I'm like, yes, that's important, because I get wrapped up in this is awesome,
Mhm.
and I'm immediately like, and now,
Yeah.
and now what? I have to
It's
always
like-
be.
Now can be tomorrow, but
Yeah.
tonight we're gonna celebrate.
Right. I've had that same issue where so I do so many different things that I just okay, well, it's kind of normal for me.
Mhm.
But to somebody else, that's huge. So
Sure.
I did the esports awards the first year it was here.
Mm.
Awesome.
Wow.
And for me, I'm not a huge esports person, but I'm I can fully appreciate this entire situation.
Yeah.
It was my first award show that I actually got to cover or whatever. And, we backstage after the winners come, we talk to them and stuff.
Super cool.
I don't know who a lot of these people are, but in my head, I'm like, okay, there is some 13-year-old kid that would lose his
Yeah, they gotta-
effing
yeah.
mind if they were this close
Yes.
to whoever.
Mhm.
So when I do stuff now, I'm like, okay, well, it may not be my thing, but somebody is like, I would die if I ever
Yeah.
whatever, because to them that's everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've worked hard to get to that point.
Exactly,
And that's
right.
why, and that I think more than anything is the reason why you have to like stop and celebrate it and really like
Yes.
take the time to congratulate yourself because
Yeah.
you worked to get that opportunity. And, when you were first starting out, your past self would probably be like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, right. Like,
Good
what would
job.
myself 5 years ago have said at this point?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
Yeah, we just, shoot, talking about goals checked off. I'm excited. We can finally, we'll make a couple announcements that we got a huge one for us. This last year was getting kind of the stamp of approval for the radio station that does our genre. So 95.9, the ranch, finally picked us up, and we got voted the number 21 song
Yeah, I was
on
gonna.
95.9.
That was number 21 song of 2022.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was like, and it was 95 songs, and you guys weren't just on the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
You guys were almost in the top 25.
That was,
was
That's
like-
huge
incredible.
for us,
That's
dude.
huge.
I
Yeah.
literally, when that list came out, I remember scrolling and when I got to 70 and
We
didn't
were
see
on
us,
Christmas vacation.
I was like, oh, the list is out. Cool. I was like, maybe we can make like 99 or
Right.
like 100. I don't know. Or no, it was 95. So I was like, maybe we'll get in like the 90s. And when I got to like the 70s, I was like, we're not on
Quit
it.
looking.
I quit looking. I really did quit looking. I was like, no. And Daniel's like, well, did you look at the rest of the list? And I was like, there's no need. There's no need to look at the rest of the list. He's like, let me see that. And he kept going. He was like, darling, look.
Yeah, and they had us up for finalists for emerging and local artists, and that was awesome. And so that was huge for us to finally get the it's funny, I sent that song to Shane Hollinger, the program director there, kind of just because we have this song called Gatekeeper, and that was the one I sent him
Good
because
song,
he's
too.
a
Yeah.
he's the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna send the gatekeeper here, and he liked it, and so that was huge. And so now we get the doors have been opening since that. So we just found out that we're headlining one of the stages for the Fort Worth Music Festival and Conference.
That's huge.
Yes,
Congratulations.
yeah,
Thank
we're going to
you.
be the Saturday night headliner for the Love Shack stage in the
that's
Stockyards.
Yeah.
It's a for those of you guys who know country music and kind of the Texas country scene. The festival's put on by Larry Joe Taylor, who has the huge one over in Stephenville at Melody Mountain and everything. So that was huge for us to be headlining a stage on a Larry Joe Taylor event. And
Tim Love,
and Tim Love
Right.
chef who owns Woodshed, and then obviously Love Shack.
and Live Nation.
Yes, and Live
Yeah.
Nation, and so not the ticket or
Well, the Live Nation event. It's a Live Nation
right.
event.
It's a Live
but-
Nation
Yeah,
event.
it's
but
something something with a T. I always
I
feel
can't
bad that I can't remember it.
right
Yeah.
now. But yes,
But yes,
yeah,
that
so
place.
that Tim Love,
Yes.
and so yeah, he partnered with Larry Joe Taylor, and so anyway, they want it to kind of be like a South by Southwest
Yeah.
type event, but in Fort Worth, and I think down the road they're going to want to have like all genres, and I think they have a handful of artists that are not country. but
Yeah,
I-
they do.
I know moving forward, they want to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Well,
and really-
because the country scene's also kind of moving towards like this alt rock kind of
Mhm.
thing going on, which I love. So those bands are going to be on, be going on like Midnight River Choir and Saints 11
Yeah.
and all these rockin' bands that are going to be there too. And just Arlington's always had our back, and we've just been knocking on Fort Worth's door so hard, and so to finally to be able to get we're going to be thrilled with any time on any stage, and to get that
Saturday night was, and then
we were blown away. And then we also got added on to the Fort Worth Main Street Arts Fest.
Saw
Yes.
that.
We're going to
yeah.
be kicking it off on Friday. It's just like, holy crap, Fort Worth now.
That one's
Having
so
our back.
massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
And it does not get smaller. It gets
Yeah.
bigger and bigger every year.
That's also so that was another goalpost.
There you go,
That
yeah.
was one. I mean, that was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. I think we're like, one day
Mhm.
we'll get on that, and we've knocked on that door too, and
Right.
it's been shut on us, but this year it was come on in, you know. And also Jay Gills, if you're in Arlington, the
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day
Got a
block
couple dates.
party.
Right. Yeah.
Super excited. That was
That's a huge one too, because everybody goes to J Gills. Yeah.
when I was in college. I remember going there and for the block party, and I was like, I had just started playing at the time, and I hadn't met Daniel yet, and I was just like, one day, same thing. One day, I'm going to be on that stage for their block party. I
Right.
didn't know like how or when. I was like, but I'm going to make it happen. Like,
I need
it's
you to
just-
say one day we're going to be on a Grand Ole Opry. And,
okay.
Yeah, that would be
put it out there.
that'd be huge.
Because she.
I have Ryman set in my mind.
There you
but-
go. Let's do
but then-
Ryman.
Okay.
Both
One
of
day
them.
we're not
Yeah.
ready for that now. You know, a lot
No,
of,
we're not ready for
lot
that
of
now.
acts.
It's
You
we're not
know,
ready
like-
for it. I'll be honest, but we're we'll get there. Like
Of course.
it's yeah, but that's
But you got to know what
our
you're ready
goal.
for and what you're not, and so. But you know, it's been exciting.
Yeah.
And also for Arlington events, we're going to be headlining the South Street
Oh,
Arts
yes.
Festival
Yes.
over Easter weekend. We're going to be Saturday night. That's like April 8th, I believe.
Yes.
Let me double check that actually.
No, I think I looked
This
at
is
it
on the
earlier. It was
record.
April 8th. Yeah. I believe it was April 8th.
I think it is. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's right.
So I was like,
April
the
8th,
week
South
before I
Street.
will not be in town. So.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
So yeah, St. Patrick's Day at
There you go.
Jay Gilligan's Block Party, then April 8th at South Street Arts Festival here in Arlington.
Boom. So it is almost Valentine's Day as we're recording this. This is the Wednesday before Valentine's Day. Y'all are obviously a couple.
Yes.
I asked Lottie with Iggy Medji and his girlfriend
Mhm.
how the dynamic works when it comes to being in a band with somebody and turning it on and turning it off. When do you stop talking about music when you're at home?
When
When do you, is it like asking, is it okay if we talk about whatever?
I honestly, I feel like we just. I don't know that we actually have to like address it, like and be
Okay.
like, okay, now we're going to talk about music, and now we're going to stop talking about music.
Yeah.
Like we just
Our
love
whole
it.
relationship's been music.
Music.
It was born in music. We
Yeah.
were at a songwriter competition,
Right,
so it's
exactly.
and then we just fell in love with each other, songwriting
Yeah.
and doing music. And so, to me, it's never feels like it's something that has to be turned off.
It's like exciting. Like
We got to
just
turn
this-
off the business side of it.
Right. Yeah.
sometimes, but yeah. But as far as the music side, like that's always fun, and but we talk business a lot, and I don't know, but I feel like generally we're pretty good at just kind of being like, it just kind of naturally happens. It's like, okay, we'll just sit down for the evening, have a glass of wine,
Right.
and kind of relax or whatever. There's maybe been a handful of times where it's like, okay, let's just call it for the night on business talk, and
Right.
but generally I feel like it just kind of happens naturally with us anyway, which is nice. But
It's good.
I think we just read each other
Yeah.
well, so it's like I can tell when he's over it, he can tell when I'm over it, and so we're just like, all right.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I wish I had better advice than that.
No, I mean, every couple's going to be different, obviously, when it comes to everything, really. So, like, finding that balance of what's personal time, what's professional time, and then, doing it together or whatever. like-
yeah,
But I don't know if, like, you guys, so, like, if you guys have a discussion or disagreement about something at home, and then you guys are playing a gig that night, you guys are maybe not as warm to each other or whatever. I don't know if any of that kind of bled over or.
I don't know. Catherine and we've just never been a fighting couple. I know fighting
awesome.
couples, and that's their dynamic or whatever, man. But we just,
we just
Which I don't know
really-
how those
I-
exist. It's,
yeah.
How is that healthy?
I don't know. Some
Yeah.
people just like thrive in
Some
those
people's
True,
that's just
conditions.
their
that is true,
dynamics,
yes.
and I'm not telling
just
people
not
how to
that.
have a relationship, but
yeah,
Yeah.
for us, like we're just not that way, and so like, but okay, so but there are times like in the writing process or even in like practice sometimes where like you, especially in practice, like, and not just for Daniel and I, but even other members, like you can get frustrated, like I can't get this part down, like I'm struggling to like
Right.
play this part or like sing this part or learn this part, and you get frustrated, and it's like everyone's needing you to like be on, be on the same page. And like I think in those moments, I think that's maybe the only times that like I've ever like expressed like frustration, but it wasn't even too terrible. It was just more like
that's
I'm
just
gonna-
band stuff.
it's
though,
just
Right,
band
creative
stuff.
frustration.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, right.
it's more just like mad at myself, like I'm not,
Right.
I'm not a guitar god. Like
Yeah.
dang it,
Like, why is this not coming to me? Because, like, you have, like you said, sometimes you'll have 75%. You're like,
Yeah.
why is this 25%, like, just not there? Like,
It's not clicking and not
right.
yeah. but outside of that, like, yeah, it's just been, I don't know, it's been pretty easy. Like, again, we certainly don't like go, okay, so Tuesday evenings are for band business discussions,
No,
precisely
it's
until
7 days a
8:30
week is
p.m.
for van
Yeah.
business
We'll
discussions.
and I think what it is what we do is we just are like living our life, and then we'll just randomly be like, hey, you know what would be a good idea? And then we'll just like throw something out there, like as we think of things, and then, oh yeah, that would be cool. Maybe this week I can email this place or this person and ask about that. Awesome. And then there, you just talked business, but then you just go back to your life. Like, we're grocery shopping, or like we're driving somewhere, or like, and so that's, to me, it's way more
or it's
organic.
like, hey,
like,
do you know who books this venue? No, but I know, okay, well, and like, if you're talking about like day-to-day stuff, like Mondays, I always try to playlist, right?
Okay.
But that's really the only like set day that I have like this day I'm going to do this, because for me, playlisting is so dry and unnecessarily just, it's a necessary evil.
yeah.
For me, it feels like cold calling, like, but,
Define playlist. What do you mean by playlist?
So Spotify, reaching out to playlists and being like, hey, can you add my, I think my song would be a good fit for your playlist. Would you mind adding it?
Okay.
Just because a lot of venues now, like it feels like with social media and the internet, like the target of what you're trying to accomplish as a band is continually moving.
Oh,
so
yeah,
at a certain point, it was like when we first started, it was like the goal, which is still a goal, and we're excited hopefully to achieve this year, was get 5,000 Facebook followers, and that's the ticket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that used to be. But I think that died a few years ago. Then it moved to X number of Instagram followers, and that now the target is at what are your numbers on Spotify monthly listeners, and so it's like constantly a moving target. And Spotify is a continual work on trying to get playlisted and stuff like I Apple Music and the other stuff, like they can't necessarily see the monthly listeners, but right now the monthly listeners is like the ticket to get booked. So yeah, every Monday I'm trying to hustle playlists and be like, hey, will you take a listen to this single? I think this song would fit your playlist,
right?
And just keep those monthly listeners
you get picked up, and it's awesome. But what's kind of interesting about that is that if all it takes is like one serious playlist to add you, like, and by serious I just mean like one huge one, and that literally can make your entire career. Like, that can be
the Spotify algorithm,
right? Or the Spotify,
grabs you. We got lucky with our first single we put out, Abilene. Hit a Spotify algorithmic playlist. Boom! The first thing we put out, like it got like over 2 weeks, had like 60,000 spins.
And this is our first try. We didn't.
And you're like, 60,000 people listen to, like,
right?
Yeah,
crazy.
We had just put it on there, and we didn't like.
Oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The world is our oyster.
Of course.
Yeah.
We can do anything.
That was really, it's like beginner's luck. I mean, it really truly was beginner's luck. And we thought like, oh wow, like this whole Spotify game is easy. Like, we got this. Like, first song out, like we got added to like the your daily playlist or whatever. So they just Spotify picked it up themselves and sent it out. And I still to this day don't know why or how, because we were nobody. Like, we just randomly, it was our very first song we recorded as a band ever. And like, we were still playing open mics in Arlington, and now, like, I would kill for that to happen again now. But like, again, beginner's luck. And so we haven't been able to like have any songs hit quite like that.
But like, it's just trying to, continue just getting in a completely organic and real base and not cheating and trying to buy fake numbers and buy fake spins, because really, what that does is it just screws up your algorithms.
True.
If you're buying social media followers or engagements or likes and stuff like that, like for instance, like with, let's just say Facebook, if some people will try to, skip in line and buy a bunch of followers to seem, larger than what they are. But the only thing that does is, for all the accounts that actually really do follow you, they're not seeing your stuff anymore, because they'll only show it if it, like the way the algorithm works now is like if you put it out and it doesn't get good engagement within the first like few hours, like it essentially dies and no one sees it in their
Yeah.
newsfeed.
Yeah.
So you're just sending that out to a bunch of bot accounts, you know, and so it's just been just like what we're talking about with Spotify, just really hustling the playlists and stuff like that. You just always just looking for real followers, real likes, real stuff, because that
It's
way whenever you put
slow,
stuff out,
but-
it's, you know,
Well, because
It's-
bots
it
aren't going
bears
to come to
fruit.
your show.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That too. And it's the slow game, but
Sure.
it really pays off like in time. You just have to be patient and you have to be
course.
willing to wait.
You
and-
can't trick venues into booking you, because if you trick them with your fake numbers,
Yeah.
like you said, the bots don't come to the show.
True.
Now you got a pissed off venue owner who just lost their ass on the night because they paid, they got your guarantee, no butts and seats, and you're not getting booked back again.
And
So
then- and they're
you just
gonna
know
tell
what
their
venues you're ready
friends.
for.
Yeah.
Don't book them because you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose on the night, and so it's slow, and it takes time, and you just have to be willing. But what's really cool is when you do put the time in. Even now, like so we're like 5 years in, looking back now, like where we were 5 years ago, I really do feel like a huge sense of pride, of like accomplishment, and I think it's taken probably about this long to really kind of have that feeling. And not that I wasn't proud before, but like where I can really see like we're turning a corner, like we've
Right.
moved into a new chapter, and it's almost like re-energizing me to like keep going to the next, climb the next mountain. Like
Right, of
the
course.
peak of every one is the bottom of the next. And
Right.
you're like, all right, now.
Yeah. It doesn't look so small when you're on top of it.
Right,
Right.
right.
But when you're in the bottom, you're like, oh,
Like,
crap.
oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, we have a segment on the show called Tournament of Toppings. We're trying to find the best pizza place in Arlington.
Okay.
What is y'all's favorite pizza place in Arlington?
Ooh, okay. Well,
Katherine is Arlington born
on.
and
There you
raised,
go.
so I'm excited to hear from Katherine.
I'm really like, I like them for different reasons.
That's fine. You can
Okay.
name out a few.
So, well, like for nostalgia reasons, like Nizza Pizza, which is like
Which
right by
one?
Arlington High School.
Oh, okay, that one, yes.
Only just because like in high school, I went to Lamar, but like, we would hit that one up sometimes. But that's for more nostalgia reasons.
Right.
But honestly, I'm stuck. It's kind of obvious, like, but either between Cane Rosso or Mellow Mushroom, but for different reasons. I
Right.
like the Cane Rosso. I love the
Oh, the wood
flavors.
fire. Yeah.
Like
their pizzas are always so fantastic.
I think I have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Cane Rosso probably.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Cool.
yeah, I don't know that Daniel.
I take Catherine's food advice
Oh, okay.
constantly.
That's fine, yeah.
She has good taste, so
He's from Des Moines, so he's for just
Right.
like
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, I for sure I do. I will say though, I just wish like Mr. Jim's, as far as chains go, like I'm just gonna put this out there. I wish Mr. Jim's Pizza would like really have like a renaissance and come back, because I know there are a
aren't
handful.
there's a handful. I think there might be 3 or 4 in Arlington, but there's probably not enough.
Mr. Jim's, like for just regular like chain pizza,
Yeah.
like chef's kiss. It was great. Anyway,
So what are your independently owned ones here in town? So only one I think I've been to that's just like kind of an independent joint is Mellow
Okay.
Mushroom, right?
You've
I mean, I
had
think
Cane
they've got
Rosso.
a-
Well, that's
You've
more
had
of a chain too, because
Oh, do they have-
yeah,
they
they're-
have-
oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
First one I went to, I think, was in
Shows what I
Austin.
know.
Well, I mean, they're college towns. They're
Okay.
almost every college town. Like the one in Fort Worth is over by TCU, in like this one little area that only college kids are going to go in
Yeah.
that area. And I
Like
know
7th Street area type?
no, that one actually
It's over on University then.
It's no, is no, it's close to that Kroger.
Okay.
It's like around the corner from that Kroger, so it's not on University. I just can't remember what.
That's all good.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's in that area. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I know there's one in first one I ever went to was in Austin. I was like, I love the whole concept of what's going
Yeah.
on here. This
Yeah,
is fantastic.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Like for different reasons, Mellow Mushroom, like it's fun to just go in there
Yeah.
to eat. Like I just love it's cool to look at.
Yeah,
you know?
great artwork. The way they lay everything out is fantastic.
Yeah, the
And obviously
squishy
the food.
form.
Yes.
but yeah, Cane Rosso, I just feel like with their like toppings and
Yes.
just
Different pizza of the month.
yeah,
Every year, yeah.
the creativity
Yes.
with their pairings of flavors is like stuff that you'd never think that goes together, or let alone on a pizza. Like I wouldn't
Right.
put these things together anyway, but then on a pizza, like, and then it tastes amazing. Like, yeah,
There's a truffle one that my girlfriend just loses her mind. She loves everything truffle. So
it's so good.
that one's good.
I worked at a Godfather's Pizza for about a year and a
Really?
half. Yeah. Right out of high school, I'd open the store, man. I'd chop all the cheese, shred all the cheese, cut all the toppings, get the lunch buffet going, and sayonara. Yeah.
What about you? What is your opinion on the?
So independent ones, not everybody. Most people will say old school. Old school,
Yeah,
without a
you know
doubt, is one
what?
of my favorite pizza places. That
Yeah, I
it's
feel
like
bad
it's the
now.
house, it's the food,
I
the
They still
feel
do
crust.
live
bad.
music over there?
I think they started again.
I don't know how
could
old
be
school
wrong.
slipped my mind
Because
I
the-
love old school.
The same guy owned it, but for like
School's
3
like a
years,
house. You're
yes,
in.
Yeah.
Like,
for like 3 years, he let somebody else run it. They
Okay.
kind of ran it not into the ground, but not as well as they probably could have. Once he figured out what they were doing, he booted them out. Now he's taking control of it again.
Okay.
But I haven't actually got back in touch with him about the live music because I haven't
Sure.
Mhm.
been able to check it to see. But I know that they did the back patio again
Cool.
and put the canopy
Oh.
back because I know for a while it was collapsed
took-
and it just didn't
Oh, I
work
didn't
out.
even know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay. I feel bad that didn't even like cross my mind, like being there a million times. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Old
Yeah,
school
I've seen
pizza's
some good
amazing.
shows there too.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Mama's Pizza is also on everyone's list.
Oh yeah.
Needs
We've
a
got one next to us.
Bex needs a pizza, the one on Lamar and 30 Cooperish,
Yeah.
right over by that Kroger.
hmm
That one is just fantastic as well because his
Yeah.
dad opened the Needs a Pizza by Arlington. Then he
Right.
sold it, and then he opened that one over there. So
Okay.
those are on like everybody's lists. So
Yeah.
for independent ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
need to check out. There was one you said. I guess it was Mama's. Are you
Mama's,
talking
yeah.
about Mama's like the chain or like?
Yeah, it's a chain, but
is- okay, so it
but
is
there's
that
only
same-
one in Arlington, so
Okay,
it's
it
off
is
Fielder.
the same. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was like an independent one named Mama's. Okay, never mind.
I,
Okay,
I'm
like
surprised that
Mama's
nobody else
Pizza.
has had like a Mama's Pizza or something like
Could
that.
be.
But yeah,
But no, Mama's
Seems to be.
Pizza is great too.
Yeah.
I love the size of their pizzas.
Yes.
It's amazing.
their crust is really good too because it's like almost an awning over like the back part of the pizza as
Yeah.
opposed to like
yeah.
pizza ends, crust begins. They have like a little.
What's your
awning.
favorite
So-
kind of crust then? So are you more like kind of original, or do you like the thick?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like,
So I'm
Are
like
you in the
thin
mood?
crust guy, dude.
I'll
I'm-
take thin crust all day.
Like yeah,
It's good
So
because
it's like basically like give me a bunch of cheese and stuff.
yeah, you're
on a
getting
cracker,
pizza
baby,
all
you
the
know?
way as
Yeah.
opposed to like I said,
Filling
pizza
up on
ends,
bread.
crust begins.
Right.
So I have a controversial question.
Okay, well, I like
man.
This is, and it's about pizza, but I feel like this
Oh, I
is.
thought we were about to get really political.
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
Well-
are we getting canceled? I'm
No. Like only because like I hate that like those kind of conversations, but
Yeah,
like
we don't
for,
do politics.
But for
politics are awful.
they are.
Yeah.
But like if pizza was politics, then here's the question. Does pineapple belong on pizza? I know how I feel. I know how he feels.
I love it.
All
Yeah.
right.
I
okay.
love pineapple.
I'm
on
here
pizza.
for it,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
He loves pineapple
Yeah,
on pizza.
pineapple pizza. There's no problem
I'll
whatsoever.
put jalapenos and pineapples on the same thing. Get that
because
sweet
you get
and
the
spicy
sweet and
going.
spicy. Yes,
Ooh.
same time.
I honestly feel like pineapple. I don't like pineapple on pizza,
Okay.
but I feel like pineapple belongs on pizza because pizza should make you happy. And
Yes.
if pineapple on pizza makes you happy, then put pineapple
If
on
I
your
can
damn
go to
pizza.
Cece's and get a macaroni and cheese pizza, I think I
Yeah.
can easily put pineapple on a pizza. I
Yeah,
don't
like
think why is
this
an issue
world
for
has a
people.
lot of shit in it. Like you
Right.
might as well put pineapple on your pizza if that's what's gonna like bring you joy. Do it. It's not for me,
Right.
but I love that people love it. And so anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like some people
Awesome.
probably think that rap music doesn't belong in country music, but it's a
It's-
thing
some
that
people-
That's what you
listen to.
like, man.
if that's what
Yeah.
you like,
Yeah.
there you go. It's not wrong.
Yes.
You know, like and so, but
Well,
yeah.
that's the other problem. I mean, you guys, that goes into politics as well. As like, I believe and feel this way, and the fact that you don't, I can't be civil enough to be like, okay, they believe or they like this, so they're wrong, and I have to be right.
Well, that's
just
just
like-
whether or not you're an asshole.
Well-
I'm just like everybody, you know what? Like, just everyone mind their own damn business, and
Yes.
like you do you,
Yeah.
and that's all that like matters. That's all you can do is just like live your life how you want to live it, and that's it. And it goes for pizza too.
Yes.
Make your pizza how you want to make your pizza,
Exactly.
and there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Whatever pizza brings you joy, that pizza
That's
brings
the
you joy.
pizza for
Yeah.
you. Yes.
Well, speaking of which, in politics.
We're
you
off the
guys,
rails.
You guys did a Christmas song.
Yeah.
We did.
And it's an original, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to try to put out a Christmas song every year.
That's okay. Well,
Original. Yeah.
Everybody knows all the Christmas songs, and everyone's covered them at least probably 1,000 times.
Sure.
How hard is it to actually write a Christmas song? Because you guys, it's Christmassy,
Yeah.
but it's not like ching 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 ching
Yeah.
Christmas,
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
No, it's super sarcastic.
Yes.
And so it's funny. We started writing this like 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
But then obviously it was like pandemic and like for so many reasons it wasn't the right time.
The song's called Family Vacation or
Family
Family
Holiday.
Holiday. It
Yeah.
could really be for any.
It's kind of based on like family vacation,
of
like
course.
or I'm sorry, Christmas vacation ish, like that kind of concept where like your family gets together, and it's just kind of so many people.
Can be a mess, but there's nowhere you'd rather be. So.
Yeah.
Right.
You still-
Sometimes it's a minefield where you're like, okay, we can't talk about this. We got to dodge this.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah.
Right. But I it's just it was meant to just be a relatable song like for people and some of it like is maybe like true to like other people in the band, some of it and honestly like not all of it is true for us.
Right.
We actually got edited on that song.
we did
Really?
get edited
Yeah,
on that
so
song. I was
our
bummed.
opening line, we wanted it to be a real hook and like kick in the face shocker. And so we wanted to say, let's all get together and start talking shit about the president.
We were gonna have a Christmas song with shit in it. And
Perfect.
also talking shit about the president and like
But then people are like, well, you can't say president because they'll think you're talking about this president or that president or whatever. It's like, we're just talking about the president.
The president.
yeah, everyone
but they're
talks
like,
shit
no,
about the president.
they're
Like,
gonna know.
everybody
They're
always
just
talks
gonna
shit.
know that you hate Joe Biden. I was like, I don't hate Joe Biden. We actually started writing that line in the Trump administration.
Yeah, we
It's
wrote the
got
song
nothing
2
to
years
do with
ago,
either
like,
one of them.
Also,
like-
what if people listen to it when Biden's not president
Right.
or
then they're
whoever?
gonna and so we were on the label already.
Well, we wanted to
and-
say talk shit about the president, and you turned
And
him
then
in
we were
trash
like-
about the government. It
Yeah.
fit the rhyme scheme and had the same amount of syllables.
So I was like, all right. 'cause
Take
at
this
first,
out, put
I was
this
like, can I
in.
say talk trash about the president? And then they were like, well, and I'm like, okay. They really wanted us. They were like, well, maybe you can rewrite the first verse. And I'm like, no, I'm not rewriting the first verse. So then I was just like, all right, government. Does that work? Is that like it's
everybody hates
same
the government. Yeah,
Government,
it's-
talk trash about the government. Okay, well, fine. I got them to
Sure.
agree. I was like, anyway, but it like
Well, that was fun. It was a fun write.
Yeah.
We had that line and then had the line about
let's all get together and go defending why we don't have children yet.
Yes, I love that
They'll
part.
say you got good jobs and you bought that house. Now get to filling it.
Yeah.
And again, just like relatable stuff that like, I think especially people like in their like late 20s to early 30s can really like understand and feel like you love being with your family at that time of year, especially if
You're
you
gonna
live
get the
far
baby
from
pressure.
But
yeah.
especially if you live far from them,
fact, yeah.
and but at the same time, there are like common topics of conversation that come up that you're like, man, if only we could just like avoid talking about politics, or if only we could avoid talking about like babies. Now, that being said, it's not necessarily like, I honestly like, we've been blessed in like the whole like baby pressure thing. So that's awesome. But like, I know so many people whose parents are like just on them about
Right.
that. And that's stressful. And so like, it's not all necessarily like true to us, but like
Yeah.
just talking, I mean, just living on planet Earth, you hear
Yeah,
things.
and we
and-
got a black sheep verse, and then we got I forget what the fourth verse is. I sing it, but I forgot what it was. But
repeating stories. Like
Oh,
you
yeah,
always have
everyone
that
gets together
relative
and tells
that's
some
like
stories.
the
Yeah, it was a
greatest hits of all your relatives.
Right.
Yeah.
it was fun, right? And we just one of my favorite bands. Well, hell, probably I said the Eagles are my favorite band. My favorite.
You said one of, so
newest
it could
Yeah.
still be one. Yeah.
I love the Killers, and
Yeah. Oh, they're great.
the Killers.
Oh, yeah.
They used to put out. It was like a charity thing. Everything that all the money they got from streaming their Christmas songs would go to something, but they'd always put out original Christmas songs. And I thought that was so cool. And so I think we're just gonna keep trying to yearly push out a Christmas song.
That's
Did you hear their song "Don't Shoot Me, Santa Claus"?
I don't think I did.
It's awesome.
I'm going to after this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They have a lot of fun ones. Oh, speaking of that, old 97s got on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Christmas
they're a Disney
special.
Christmas band.
Oh, that's
now.
right.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, what band is this? Because this sounds real familiar. And I looked up, I'm like,
Yes.
Oh, no wonder.
When I-
Okay.
Slade, dude.
When I
Yeah.
saw them, like when they were gonna get that, I was like, oh, cool. I kind of figured maybe like one song, and I didn't know. A lot of times when a lot of local artists have been getting on like Yellowstone and other shows in the past, like even back when Sons of Anarchy was on, like there were local artists getting on that show, but it was oftentimes, not to like make any less of it, but oftentimes it's like, okay, it's a bar scene. There are songs playing in the background. You hear a little bit of it for like 4 seconds, and then the scene's over.
When they're
Old
walking
97's
in
got
and-
like
yeah.
4 full song features.
Old
Did you watch
97's
that Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
They
it was
watched it,
awesome.
literally
yeah.
like the whole
With
show,
Kevin Bacon and-
yeah, the whole
Right.
show is
Chris
old
Pratt. They're
97.
like, hey, Chris. Or,
yeah,
yeah.
like I feel like the whole thing revolves around their soundtrack, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is
I
the
don't know
epitome.
what Christmas is, but Christmas time is here. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great.
I'm wondering if they had a goal in life to be like in full alien makeup, and I wonder if that was one of their goalposts or not.
Yeah.
In a Marvel
In
Christmas
a Marvel
special.
Christmas special,
Or a Disney
yeah.
Marvel Christmas special. Yeah. Well, on that note.
Nice.
Did you see Vandaliers has been on the road with Old 97s quite a bit.
Oh, that's
And it's
awesome.
Really
Oh.
cool.
That's
You know,
really great.
locals helping locals. It's great.
Nice. Yeah.
A lot of good music coming out of this area for
There is.
sure. Absolutely.
And obviously, y'all are one of the bigger and better ones that are coming out of this
Oh.
area. So
Well,
yeah,
we're grinding, man.
you're doing a great job.
Thanks.
I think.
Thank you.
If people want to follow you guys online, listen to your music, see you guys live, where do they do all the things?
You can find us anywhere on www.septembermoonband.com. There you can find the links to everything right there on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music. We're on all the social medias except Twitter. I don't know why. We just only have so many hours in the day.
Technically, we are on Twitter.
Oh, are we?
But
Okay.
there's like one post, I think. So
Okay.
just disregard. So
It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't know
of
how you do a
Twitter,
music
yeah.
project on Twitter,
you just
but I don't know.
It's a lot of videos basically
Okay.
posting. Yeah.
also, we're not on Snapchat.
Good. Getting that one. I think that you can
But-
do live on there now. I
Yeah.
don't. I couldn't tell.
Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
TikTok.
we cut up on TikTok a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, you can find and our show schedules there on our website, or try to have an event on it on Facebook. But again, if you obviously if you listen to this one, you're probably in Arlington, Texas. So we hope to see you at the St. Patrick's Day block party at Jay Gilligan's or at South Street Arts Fest. We'll be headlining that April 8th. So.
There you go. Well, thank y'all so much for coming on. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Yeah,
Dude,
me
same.
too.
Yeah. So I look forward to the many success that y'all will have in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
Same.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us,
No
man.
problem. Thank you so much to September Moon. Part 1 and 2 is in the books. What a great conversation we had with them. I am so glad we actually finally got to sit down with them. It was absolutely amazing. And as you heard, make sure to go and check them out at all the festivals that are happening in Arlington. And go check out their social media and their website. They keep it updated as to what they are doing, where they're playing. It is they're a fantastic band. They are even better live. So make sure to go check them out. Also, while you're out, every Monday is trivia night over at Dr. Jekyll's. That starts at 7 p.m. Every Monday night is also open mic comedy over at 1851. Sign up is at 7:40. Show starts at 8 p.m. Then every first Tuesday over at Blitz Lounge is karaoke night starting at 11 p.m. Enter for a chance to win $200. Ooh, sorry. Every Tuesday over at Mavericks Bar and Grill /225 Barbecue starting at 3 p.m. That is their comedy night. Every Wednesday also over at Jambo's Barbecue, catch UTA Jazz Night from 5:30 to 7:30. Right afterwards, over at Division Brewing, every Wednesday night is their trivia night from 7 to 9 p.m. And while you're out there, make sure to go out and eat local, drink local, and go rediscover your city. Tag us and send those pictures over to us on Facebook, Arlington Citizen Media, Twitter, ATX Citizen Media. Tag us on Instagram, Arlington Citizen Media, and send those pictures the old-fashioned way. Email arlingtoncitizenmedia@gmail.com. Also go to our website, www.arlingtoncitizenmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe and give those 5-star reviews of the Downtown at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and also hit us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.